Hello students, this is your maths teacher Shilpi Singh, and today we will be starting with a new chapter of yours, which is fractions. So today let's start this chapter with a very basic discussion. So first of all, let's see what actually fractions are. Fractions are defined as part of a whole quantity. If suppose you are having something and it is divided into smaller parts, so that part upon the whole quantity is defined as your fraction. Let's take a very basic example for that. Suppose this is your birthday cake in this circular shape, and you have divided this into 4 equal parts. If you have eaten one part out of 4 parts, then you are going to write down that I have eaten 1 out of 4. If you have eaten 2 parts of the whole cake, so how much you have eaten? 2 parts out of how many? 4. If somebody has eaten 3 parts, then it will be written as 3 parts out of 4. And if someone has eaten the entire cake, so if you have to mention the quantity, that how much you have eaten, so how will you write down that I have eaten whole? That means all 4 parts out of 4, or you can also write this as 1. So what are we seeing in the fractions? It is having one upper term and it is having one term in the bottom part. The upper term is known as numerator. The number which is written above is numerator, whereas the number written on the downside is denominator. So numerator upon denominator, and this whole makes your fraction. I hope this much is clear to you. Now let's see how the fractions are actually divided into different categories. So what are the classifications of it? The first one is simple fraction, or you can also call it vulgar fraction. If suppose you are having a simple number written on the numerator part, a number written on the denominator part, so that is known as your simple fraction. You can also call it as a vulgar fraction also. That means a simple number above, a simple number down, categorized into simple fraction. What is complex fraction? Complex fraction is, that means the numerator is also present in the fraction form, and denominator can be either a simple number or it can be a fraction on the numerator side and a fraction on the denominator side. That means simple single digit numbers are not there. A fraction is present in numerator and a fraction is present in the denominator. That makes your complex fraction. How to solve these? That we will discuss in the further videos. Next topic is your proper fraction. Proper fraction is when the numerator is smaller than the denominator. That means the number which is written above is smaller than the number written down. So here are few examples. 3 by 5. You can easily see 3 is smaller than 5. So it is a part of proper. 7 by 9. Again, numerator is smaller than the denominator. 11 upon 13. Again, same thing. Next category is improper fraction. Just opposite of this. In improper fraction, the number which is written above is bigger than the number written down. So 5 upon 2, 11 upon 7, 13 upon 8 are few examples of it. These are your improper fraction. Now the next category is mixed fraction. What are these mixed fraction now? Mixed means, obviously the name suggests that there are 2 things that are mixed in it. That means a simple number and a fraction along with it. That means it is a combination of 2 things mixed together. A simple number as well as a fraction attached with it. 7 1 by 5, a simple number and a fraction attached with it. And how you have to solve them, because these are little complicated to see and understand, so we can convert them into simpler form which is easy to understand. And how you have to do, see, I have written this over here, 2 3 by 5, or you can sometimes read this like this also, 2 whole 3 by 5, 7 whole 1 by 5. Now how to solve it? Denominator will be as it is. So if it was 5 in the denominator, 5 will go as it is. Multiply this with the whole number and add the numerator. So 5 into 2, 10, and 10 plus 3, 13. So your mixed fraction has been converted into improper fraction. And why I am calling it improper? Because the numerator part, you can see it is bigger. Let's see this also. 7 whole 1 by 5. So how to convert it? 5 is in the denominator, so as it is, it will be shifted. 5 7s are 35. 35 plus 1, 36. So answer is 36 by 5. Again, this is also improper. So keep this thing in mind. Mixed fraction is always converted into improper. When you solve a mixed fraction, you will never get your answer as proper fraction. Never that is going to happen. Now let's see the next categorization, which is equivalent fraction. Either you call them equivalent fraction or you call them equal fraction. The meaning will be same. And what is this equivalent? Please remember, students, one thing. If you are having a fraction, like here I have taken the example of 2 by 7. Numerator is 2, denominator is 7. Always the number that you are going to multiply in the numerator side, the same number you need to multiply in the denominator also. That means both need to be multiplied or divided by the same number. The same operation with the same number need to be done with both of them. So if I multiply 2 into 3, 6, and 7 into 3, 21, actually 2 upon 7, and this new fraction which has come by multiplying 3 on both the sides, these two are same. So either you call them equivalent fraction or you call them equal fraction, the meaning is going to remain same. And why we are calling them same? Let's find out the reason also. See 6 upon 21. If I again cut them by the table of 3, you know that 6 is coming in the table of 3 also and 21 is coming in the table of 3. So if I cancel them again, they will bring back the result to the same 2 upon 7. So we can say that these two fractions are equal or equivalent. If they ask me that 3 by 5 is one fraction and you give us one equivalent fraction, so you can multiply both the numbers by same number. Now that number is your choice. Here I can take 4. So I have given 4 to both the parts, numerator also and denominator also. So 3 into 4, 12, 5 into 4, 20. So 12 upon 20 and this 3 upon 5, they both are equivalent fraction. Because if I cancel them, these two numbers are coming in the table of 4. Again they will bring back the answer to 3 upon 5. So the meaning is same. Now next is checking for equivalent fraction. If suppose they give you one question as 2 upon 7 and they have given you one more fraction as let's take 8 upon 28, and they are saying check whether the two fractions are equivalent or not. So there is a very easy technique for that. What you need to do, keep the numerators the same. Here the numerator was 2, so I have kept it 2. Here it was 8, so I have kept it 8. And send the denominators in a cross format. So 2 will be multiplied by 28 because 28 has been sent to it, and 8 will be multiplied by 7. If you get from both the sides same result, here also 2 into 28, 56 and 7 into 8, 56. If you get same result from both the sides, that means the fractions that were given to you were equal or equivalent, whatever you want to call. I hope it is clear. Next is now simplest form. Simplest form is to bring back or to reduce a fraction which is having a numerator and denominator and both the numbers are still divisible by some number. Here I have taken the example of 16 upon 18. You know that both the numbers are divisible by 2. Let's divide them. So if I divide both the numbers by 2, I will get 8 upon 9. Do you think 8 and 9 are still coming in any table? Leaving 1. They do not come in any table. So this is the simplest form. That means now the 16 upon 18 has been reduced to 8 upon 9 and this cannot be now reduced any further. Let's take one more example for your clearance. If it is 15 upon 45, both the numbers are coming in the table of 3 also, 5 also. It's your choice by which number you want to divide. Let's take 3 for your convenience. So as I told you, both the numbers need to be divided by same. Don't do it like this, that upper number you are dividing by 3 and down one you are dividing by 5. That will make your answer wrong. Division need to be done by same number to bring the result in the simplest form. 15 divided by 3, 5. 45 divided by 3, 15. Still this is reducible. Still both are coming in the table of 5. Let's divide both of them by 5. 5 divided by 5, 1, and 15 divided by 5, 3. So that means 15 upon 45 can be reduced as 1 upon 3. So 1 upon 3 is the simplest form of this number. And 8 upon 9 is the simplest form of 16 upon 18. I hope you have got my point. Next is now like fraction. Now what are like fractions? Like means same. Okay. Like means same. Now what same? That we will see over here. If suppose you are given many fractions, there were many numbers that were written over here. So you have to identify that which are like fractions. Like fractions means the fractions which are having the same denominator. Okay. Now see here, 4 upon 7 is having 7 in the denominator. 5 upon 7 also with the same denominator. 11 upon 7 also. 13 upon 7 also. All these numbers are having the same denominator. So these all are like fraction. And these two were not matching in the pair, so they will be left separated. Now next topic is your unlike fraction. Unlike fraction means the fractions which are having different denominator. Okay, like 4 upon 7 and 8 upon 9. These both are unlike. Unlike means they are not same. You can see clearly here the denominator is 7 and here the denominator is 9. Obviously they are not same, that's why they are falling in the category of unlike. And please remember, when we are solving for like and unlike, we just need to check the denominator. Please don't check the numerator, we only see the denominator. If the denominators match, they are like. If they don't match, we will make them in the unlike category. Taking the next topic of comparison of fraction. Comparison means to find out which one is bigger, which one is smaller, or whether they are equal, that we will be checking. So one question I have taken here, one fraction is 7 upon 11 and other one is 9 upon 11. And you need to check that which one is bigger, which one is smaller, or they are equal. So the golden rule is, as I told you just now, keep the numerators at the same place. So here the numerator was 7, so 7 is this side, 9 is on the right side, so 9 is written on the right side. And send the denominators in cross format. So 9 will be multiplied by 11 and 7 will be multiplied by 11 and 9 also will be multiplied by 11. Here 77, here the result is 99. You can easily see which side the result is bigger, 99. So this fraction is bigger. the way, this question could have been done without solving also, because when the denominators are same, we can only check the numerator and tell which one is bigger. If the denominators are same, just check the numerator part and you can find out that which side is bigger. Okay, see the next question, 3 by 4 and 5 by 9. Now here I cannot say this one is bigger without solving, because that's not possible also. Until and unless the denominators are not same, I cannot say which one is bigger. So here it is 4, here it is 9. So what I am going to do to find out which one is bigger, again the same rule, numerators to be kept on the same side. 3 was the numerator, so 3 is here. 5 was in the numerator, so 5 is here. And send the denominators in cross. So 9 will go with 3 and 4 will go with 5. Here the result is 20. Here the result is 27. You can clearly see which side is bigger. This side. So 3 by 4 is bigger than 5 upon 9. This is how you have to solve. Now, ascending and descending order. How to find out when the fractions are given to you, that whether in which order we have to arrange them. So as I told you just now, just by looking at the fraction we cannot say that which one is bigger and which one is small. So this is one question. Let's see how it will be done. 3 fractions were given to me. 1 by 2, 7 upon 8 and 11 upon 12. The denominators are not same, so obviously I cannot say. So what I am going to do? I am going to take the LCM of 2, 8 and 12. LCM is 24. So I have written 24 here, 24 for this and 24 for this. Now see how we will be solving this. When 2 is made 24, you multiplied this by 12. So if you multiplied the denominator by 12, so obviously you need to multiply the numerator also by 12, and 1 into 12 is 12. Let's move to the next one. 8 you are making 24. So you are multiplying by 3. So you need to multiply the numerator also by 3. So 7 3s are 21. Last now. 12 you are making 24, so you multiplied this by 2. So 11 2s are 22. Once you have arranged all the numbers with the same denominator, now denominators are same, just check the numerator and arrange in whatever order you want. If it is descending order, then the biggest is this, 22 upon 24. Smaller than this, 21 upon 24, and the smallest 12 upon 24. So this is the descending order, and if they ask you the opposite, that is the ascending order. It is already arranged. 12 upon 24, 21 upon 24, 22 upon 24. As simple as that. Let's take one more question so that you don't find any difficulty while solving the first exercise. The numbers were 7 upon 20, 8 upon 15 and 3 upon 10. All the denominators are different. Obviously, you can't say which one is bigger and which one is smaller until and unless the denominators are same. So when you will take out the LCM, it will come 60. See, I know it directly, but those who are not able to solve directly, they will go by this procedure and you can find out. Take the LCM with this procedure. Now, I will write 60 at 3 places since I am having 3 fractions. So when you are making 20 as 60, you multiply it by 3. So multiply 7 also by 3. 7 into 3, 21. 15 4s are 60, so 8 4s are 32. 10 6s are 60, so 3 will also be multiplied by 6, so 3 6s are 18. Now the denominators are same. In whichever order you want, you can solve it. If they ask you descending order, so biggest is this, then smaller than this is this, and the smallest is this. And if they ask you in ascending order, then ascending order will be smallest first, then bigger, and then biggest. This is the way you have to solve. I hope that this topic is clear, and the homework for you will be that you have to solve the first exercise of this chapter. And if you find any difficulty, you can either ask in the comment box or through the eCare app. All the best, students. Thank you.